Let me tell you something important. There is power in solitude. But I want you to really listen to me when I say this. A woman who always spends time alone is not just independent, she is dangerous. Not in a destructive way, but in the most powerful, unstoppable way. When a woman spends time alone, she learns to discover the depths of her own heart, her soul, her true desires. She no longer relies on anyone else's opinion to define who she is. She's not waiting for validation. She has a fire in her, a force that comes from within. She's not afraid of silence because in that silence she finds her truth. Every single moment alone shapes her. It builds her strength, her resilience, her confidence. She's been through the battles, both external and internal, and has learned how to fight back stronger than before. She doesn't fear the unknown because she knows her worth. She knows that even when the world tries to break her, she will rise. And when she rises, there's no stopping her. But here's the thing you need to understand. This kind of strength doesn't come from the outside. It comes from the quiet moments when she's with herself, where she faces the hard truths, the painful realizations, and the dreams she's too afraid to speak out loud. This woman is dangerous because she's not afraid to walk the hardest paths and emerge with wisdom, power, and grace. So when you see a woman walking alone, don't feel sorry for her. Don't pity her. Recognize the strength within her. She is carving her own destiny. She's unstoppable. She's not afraid to make her dreams real, to confront the fears that try to hold her back, because she's seen the power in her own reflection. When a woman has spent time in solitude, she doesn't just walk into a room, she commands it. And when she speaks, it's not just words, it's a force, a message, an energy that shakes the very foundation of anyone listening. Because she's dangerous in the best way possible. She's dangerous because she has learned to lead herself. And once she does that, there's no limit to what she can achieve. So don't underestimate the woman who spends time alone. She's not isolated, she's preparing, she's evolving. And when she's ready, the world better be prepared for the power that will pour from her because it's been forged in solitude and is stronger than anything else. Empowerment is not just a buzzword. It is the essence of a woman who chooses to spend time alone. When she decides to stand in her own space, to find her voice in solitude, something magical happens. This is the power of empowerment. It's not about being isolated or lonely, but about finding the courage to face the world on her own terms, to listen to her own thoughts, and to act according to her own convictions. A woman who spends time alone is dangerous because she understands the incredible value of this solitude. It is not just a physical space, it's a mental and emotional landscape that gives her the freedom to connect with herself. Free from the distractions or expectations that often surround her. In these moments of solitude, she taps into the deepest corners of her mind and soul. Here, she begins to realize that empowerment isn't something that is granted by others. It is something that must be cultivated from within. A quiet strength that comes from fully understanding her worth. The real power of empowerment comes from self-awareness. When a woman spends time alone, she is given the opportunity to discover who she truly is, not who the world expects her to be. She becomes in tune with her desires, her passions, and her dreams. And in doing so, she uncovers a sense of clarity about her purpose. With this clarity comes the ability to make decisions that are aligned with her values, not decisions based on pressure or fear of judgment. Empowerment is the ability to choose for herself what is best for her without being swayed by the opinions of others. In these moments of solitude, she learns to trust her intuition. She knows that her inner voice is her most reliable guide. And this trust creates a foundation that is unshakable. No external force, no societal standard, no opinion can convince her to doubt herself. She knows her worth and recognizes her potential to create her own reality. This is a woman who has learned to build her life on her own terms, and that is the most dangerous woman of all. She is not dependent on others for validation or approval. She is self-sufficient, but not in a way that isolates her from the world. Instead, she is able to show up fully for herself, which allows her to show up fully for others. A woman who spends time alone develops a deep sense of personal responsibility. She doesn't blame her circumstances, nor does she make excuses for why things are the way they are. Instead, she takes ownership of her life, her choices, and the direction in which she is headed. Empowerment means that she recognizes that her life is hers to shape. She understands that the challenges she faces are not signs of weakness, but opportunities for growth. And so she tackles them head on, because she knows that she has the power to overcome anything in her way. Her empowerment also comes from the recognition of her own needs and boundaries. She knows that in order to give the best of herself to the world, she must first take care of herself. She doesn't compromise her peace or her well-being to meet the demands of others. She has learned that her time and energy are precious, and she uses them wisely. Empowerment is the ability to say no when something doesn't align with her values or goals. It's the strength to prioritize herself without guilt. As she continues to spend time alone, she begins to realize that there is no limit to what she can achieve. The world may try to define her, to tell her where she should go, how she should act, and who she should be, but she no longer accepts those limitations. She has tapped into a well of inner strength that makes her feel invincible. She understands now that her true power lies in her ability to empower herself. And in doing so, she becomes a beacon of empowerment for others, showing them that they too have the power to create their own path, regardless of what others may say or do. So, a woman who spends time alone is not weak. She is not lost. She is dangerous. Dangerous because she knows who she is, she knows her worth, and she is empowered to create the life she deserves. This is the power that comes from solitude, the kind of power that cannot be taken but must be earned through self-awareness, trust, and the unwavering belief that she is capable of anything. Independence is one of the most powerful forces a woman can possess. When a woman consistently chooses to spend time alone, she cultivates this strength, often unknowingly, but always profoundly. Independence does not simply mean being able to take care of oneself physically. It means standing firm in one's own decisions, having the confidence to follow one's own path, and trusting that the power to navigate life's challenges rests within her. A woman who is independent, who has mastered the art of solitude, becomes a force that cannot be easily swayed or controlled. She is dangerous not because she is hard or cold, but because she has learned to thrive on her own terms. Independence is the cornerstone of self-reliance. When a woman spends time alone, she is forced to confront herself, her strengths, weaknesses, fears, and aspirations. This solitude is where she begins to understand that she doesn't need others to define her. She learns to solve problems on her own, to find solutions that align with her personal values and beliefs without seeking approval or permission from anyone else. This independence grows from the understanding that her happiness, success, and peace come from within, not from the outside world. She begins to rely on her own intuition, her own wisdom, and her own ability to navigate life's challenges. One of the greatest dangers a woman like this poses is the fact that she will not allow anyone to dictate her life. She will not be controlled by societal expectations, by the opinions of others, or by limiting beliefs. This independence makes her unpredictable in the best possible way. She doesn't follow trends or imitate the lives of others. Instead, she charts her own course, even if it means going against the grain. This autonomy gives her the freedom to explore new paths, to make bold decisions, and to take risks that others might shy away from. She is the architect of her own destiny, and nothing can take that away from her. A woman who spends time alone builds a deep relationship with herself, and through this relationship, she nurtures her independence. It's in these moments of solitude that she figures out who she truly is. She is no longer defined by her relationship status, her job, or her family's expectations. She defines herself by the choices she makes and the actions she takes. And as she learns to trust her own instincts, she becomes less reliant on external validation. She no longer waits for others to give her permission to pursue her dreams or to live her life on her own terms. This freedom to live authentically is what makes her dangerous. She is no longer a follower, but a leader in her own life. Independence also means having the courage to walk away from things that no longer serve her. A woman who spends time alone understands that not all relationships, situations, or environments are healthy or conducive to her growth. Her independence gives her the strength to let go of anything or anyone who doesn't align with her vision for herself. She is willing to sacrifice comfort in the short term for long-term peace and fulfillment. She values her mental and emotional well-being above everything else. And when something is toxic or draining, she has no problem walking away from it. This is not the behavior of someone weak or afraid. This is the behavior of someone who knows their worth and refuses to settle for anything less. In solitude, a woman's independence is often tested. She faces moments of doubt, loneliness, and fear, but she learns to overcome them. Each time she rises after a setback, each time she faces a challenge and finds a solution on her own, her independence grows stronger. She doesn't rely on others to fill the voids in her life. Instead, she learns to fill those voids herself. She becomes resourceful, creative, and adaptable. Her ability to thrive alone is not a reflection of weakness, but of inner strength. This is the beauty of independence. It allows a woman to become who she is meant to be without compromise. She no longer seeks approval or affirmation from others because she understands that her value comes from within. She is capable of creating the life she wants, regardless of external influences. This independence not only makes her more powerful, but it also inspires those around her. When others see a woman living on her own terms, they begin to question their own limitations. They begin to see the possibility of living authentically without fear of judgment or rejection. A woman who has embraced her independence is dangerous because she is self-sufficient, self-aware, and unafraid to pursue what she wants in life. She understands that her life is hers to control, and nothing or no one can take that power from her. In this sense, her independence is her greatest strength and her greatest weapon. It makes her a force to be reckoned with. Strength is often misunderstood. It's not about physical muscle or the ability to endure in the face of adversity. It's deeper, more subtle, and far more powerful. A woman who spends time alone has a strength that is forged in the quiet moments, in the silence that others might fear, and it is in this solitude that she finds her true power. She doesn't rely on external validation, nor does she wait for someone else to save her. Instead, she develops an inner fortitude that cannot be broken by external forces. She understands that her true strength comes from within, and that is what makes her dangerous. Strength is the ability to withstand hardship, and when a woman chooses solitude, she learns exactly what she is capable of handling. Alone, she confronts her own demons, her doubts, fears, insecurities, and finds that they have no power over her unless she allows them to. In these moments of solitude, she builds emotional resilience. She learns to navigate the ups and downs of life, not by avoiding them, but by embracing them with courage and determination. When life challenges her, she doesn't back down or crumble under pressure. She meets the storm head on, and in doing so, she becomes stronger. Every struggle she faces, every moment of doubt or fear, becomes another step toward realizing her own immense strength. But the strength that comes from solitude is not just about surviving adversity. It's about mastering it. A woman who spends time alone doesn't simply cope with life's challenges. She learns to thrive in the face of them. She understands that every hardship is an opportunity to grow, and with each challenge, she becomes more self-assured. In solitude, she develops a self-discipline and determination that allow her to achieve what she sets out to do. She knows that strength doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from her own decisions, her own mindset, and her ability to push forward even when it feels impossible. Another layer of strength that develops in solitude is the power of self-reliance. A woman who spends time alone learns that she is capable of taking care of herself, both physically and emotionally. She doesn't need others to rescue her or to provide for her. She knows how to meet her own needs, how to soothe her own soul, and how to solve her own problems. This independence makes her even stronger. She doesn't have to wait for someone else to act on her behalf because she knows that she is the one who holds the power to create change in her own life. Her strength comes from knowing she can stand on her own 2 feet, no matter what the world throws at her. Spending time alone also helps a woman develop an inner peace that contributes to her strength. She learns how to listen to her own voice, to trust her instincts, and to find clarity in the chaos. This peace of mind is a form of strength that cannot be taken from her. It's rooted in the deep understanding that no matter what happens in life, she is enough. She doesn't need to prove anything to anyone because she already knows her worth. This inner peace enables her to make decisions with confidence, knowing that she has the strength to handle whatever comes next. The emotional strength that comes from spending time alone also extends to her relationships. Because she has learned to nurture herself, she becomes better equipped to give love and support to others. She doesn't depend on others for emotional validation because she has cultivated that within herself. She knows how to set boundaries, how to communicate her needs, and how to give love from a place of abundance rather than desperation. Her strength lies in her ability to remain true to herself, no matter who she's with or what circumstances arise. She understands that the best relationships are those that allow her to maintain her individuality while also giving and receiving love freely. This kind of strength is dangerous because it's not easily shaken. It's a force that is rooted deep within her and no one can take it away. A woman who has learned to stand strong in her own solitude is a force to be reckoned with because she has faced her fears, confronted her weaknesses, and emerged stronger than ever before. She doesn't wait for permission or validation. She trusts in her own power, and that confidence is what makes her unstoppable. Resilience is a quality that cannot be manufactured or bought. It is earned, shaped over time, and built through experience. A woman who spends time alone learns resilience in ways that few others do. Solitude forces her to confront her own limitations, her fears, and the painful truths about herself. Yet it is in these quiet, often difficult moments that she becomes truly unbreakable. She doesn't run from challenges. She faces them head on, learns from them, and emerges stronger than before. A woman who embraces solitude develops resilience because she is constantly learning how to adapt and overcome. In moments of solitude, she is forced to rely on herself. There is no one to lean on, no one to rescue her when things get tough. She learns how to rise after each fall, how to pick herself up when the world knocks her down. This constant cycle of challenges and growth builds a deep reservoir of resilience within her. She no longer fears failure because she knows that failure is merely a stepping stone to success. She understands that the most important part of any journey is not how many times you fall, but how many times you rise. When a woman spends time alone, she is forced to face her own inner turmoil. The silence allows her to hear her doubts, her insecurities, and her fears. These moments of confrontation are painful, but they are necessary for growth. Rather than running away from these uncomfortable feelings, she learns to embrace them. She acknowledges her struggles and faces them head on, knowing that they do not define her. Each time she pushes through a difficult moment, she strengthens her ability to endure. She becomes more capable of handling adversity because she has faced it, not once, but repeatedly. Resilience is not just about surviving, it's about bouncing back stronger than ever. A woman who spends time alone doesn't let life's setbacks define her. Instead, she uses those challenges as opportunities to grow. She doesn't see adversity as something to fear, but as something that can teach her valuable lessons. Each obstacle is a chance to develop her character, to refine her skills, and to become the person she is meant to be. Her resilience is rooted in the understanding that difficult moments don't last forever, and that they are temporary. No matter what she faces, she knows that she has the strength to persevere and come out the other side wiser and more capable. Spending time alone also gives a woman the space to heal. Life can be incredibly hard, and we all carry wounds, some visible, some hidden deep within us. A woman who is alone learns to tend to those wounds, to give herself the time and space to heal. In solitude, she learns to practice self-compassion. She doesn't beat herself up over past mistakes or hold grudges against herself for things beyond her control. Instead, she accepts herself fully, flaws and all. She understands that resilience is not about being perfect. It's about accepting your imperfections and learning to move forward anyway. Each time she picks herself up after a setback, she strengthens her ability to bounce back, and her emotional resilience deepens. Her resilience also comes from the wisdom that solitude grants her. The more time she spends alone, the more she learns about herself. She becomes more aware of her strengths, her weaknesses, and her limits. With this self-awareness, she is able to navigate life with more confidence. She knows that no matter what comes her way, she has the inner resources to handle it. She has developed a mental and emotional toughness that makes her adaptable in any situation. She is no longer at the mercy of the world around her, but rather she has learned how to shape her own experience. This self-reliance is a key component of resilience. It gives her the confidence to trust in her ability to overcome whatever challenges arise. Resilience is also about perspective. A woman who spends time alone learns to see things differently. In solitude, she gains the space to reflect on her life and her experiences. She doesn't let a single setback define her or her future. She understands that every challenge is temporary and that there is always a way forward. This mindset gives her the ability to stay focused on her goals, even when things seem difficult. She does not allow herself to be derailed by temporary struggles. Instead, she sees them as part of her journey. This resilience enables her to continue pushing forward, no matter the obstacles in her path. A woman who is resilient is dangerous because she has learned to stand firm in the face of adversity. She has faced life's challenges and has come out stronger on the other side. She is not easily shaken or broken because she has developed the inner strength to persevere. This resilience makes her unstoppable, a force to be reckoned with. She knows that no matter what life throws at her, she will rise again. And with each rise, she becomes more powerful, more determined, and more dangerous. Self-discovery is one of the most profound and transformative processes a woman can go through, and it's something that flourishes when she spends time alone. In solitude, she has the space to peel away the layers of external influences, society's expectations, other people's opinions, and the noise of daily life. Alone, she faces herself, not through the lens of others, but as she truly is. It is in these moments of quiet reflection that she begins to understand who she is at her core, what she values, what she desires, and what drives her. This journey of self-discovery is what makes a woman who spends time alone so incredibly dangerous, because she is no longer shaped by the world around her, but by the truth of who she has become. Self-discovery is not a comfortable process. It is not about simply affirming the things that are easy to accept about oneself, but about digging deeper, uncovering uncomfortable truths, and learning to embrace them. A woman who spends time alone has the courage to confront her flaws, to face her fears, and to challenge the stories she has been told about who she is. This process can be painful because it requires her to let go of the expectations she may have held about herself and to redefine her identity based on what feels authentic and true. It is in this raw and vulnerable space that true self-discovery happens. As she spends time alone, she learns to reconnect with the deepest parts of herself. She discovers passions, talents, and desires that she may have long ignored or suppressed. She begins to understand what truly brings her joy, what makes her feel alive, and what aligns with her soul's purpose. This self-awareness empowers her to make choices that reflect her true desires rather than choices based on what others expect or want from her. A woman who is deeply connected to herself is no longer she becomes an active creator of her destiny, making decisions that are aligned with her authentic self, not with the roles that society has assigned her. In solitude, she also learns to trust herself more deeply. As she faces challenges, makes decisions, and reflects on her experiences, she develops a strong sense of self-trust. She no longer doubts her intuition or second-guesses her choices. She knows, deep down, that she is capable of navigating life on her own terms. This trust in herself makes her powerful because she no longer feels the need to seek validation from others. She knows her worth and understands that her opinions, her needs, and her desires matter. This self-trust allows her to act with confidence, make bold decisions, and live authentically without fear of judgment. Self-discovery also allows a woman to break free from the limitations that others may have placed on her. Society often tries to dictate how a woman should look, behave, or think, but in solitude, she is free to explore her true self without these external pressures. She learns to let go of the need to fit into a box and embraces the freedom to define herself on her own terms. This liberation is empowering because she no longer feels confined by traditional roles or expectations. She becomes the architect of her own life, designing it according to her own values, not those imposed upon her by others. This freedom makes her dangerous because she no longer follows the paths others have paved for her. She creates her own trail and leads the way for others to follow. Through self-discovery, a woman also begins to recognize the depth of her own resilience. As she confronts her vulnerabilities and challenges, she realizes just how strong and resourceful she truly is. She learns that she has the capacity to handle whatever life throws her way. The more she learns about herself, the more confident she becomes in her ability to rise above difficulties. This inner strength is rooted in self-awareness. When she understands who she is at her core, she also understands the incredible power she has within her. She no longer fears setbacks or obstacles because she knows that she has the ability to overcome them. The process of self-discovery also leads to a profound sense of purpose. When a woman truly understands who she is, what she stands for, and what she wants out of life, she develops a sense of direction that guides her actions. She is no longer drifting aimlessly through life, reacting to external circumstances. Instead, she takes intentional steps toward her goals and dreams. She has a clear vision of what she wants to create, and she is not afraid to pursue it with passion and determination. This purpose-driven approach makes her dangerous because she is no longer scattered or uncertain. She is focused, driven, and unstoppable. A woman who spends time alone and goes through the journey of self-discovery becomes a force of nature. She knows who she is, what she wants, and why she wants it. This clarity gives her the courage to step into the world fully, unapologetically, and with the conviction that she is worthy of everything she desires. She is not afraid to stand up for herself, to make difficult choices, or to set boundaries, because she understands her own value. This sense of self is what makes her dangerous. Not because she is hard or unapproachable, but because she is unshakably confident in who she is and what she stands for. Confidence is a quality that emanates from within and grows stronger the more a woman embraces her own independence and solitude. A woman who regularly spends time alone cultivates this confidence in a profound and unique way. Solitude forces her to confront the truth of who she is, and it is in this space that she learns to trust herself, believe in her abilities, and stand firm in her decisions. This internal confidence is the kind that doesn't rely on external approval or validation. Instead, it is rooted in the quiet assurance that she is enough, exactly as she is. It is this deep confidence that makes her dangerous. Because when a woman knows her worth and is unwavering in her self-belief, she becomes unstoppable. Spending time alone allows a woman to tune out the noise of the world and focus solely on herself. In the absence of external distractions, she learns to rely on her own instincts, her own wisdom, and her own judgment. She no longer feels the need to seek the approval of others or to follow the crowd. She understands that the only validation she truly needs is her own. This inner confidence comes from consistently making choices that align with her values, desires, and goals. With each decision she makes on her own, she reinforces her belief that she is capable of navigating life's challenges without the need for external guidance. This unwavering trust in herself is what gives her the confidence to move forward even when the path ahead is uncertain. The more time a woman spends alone, the more she learns to appreciate her own company. This self-appreciation is a cornerstone of confidence because it allows her to see her own worth, regardless of what others may think or say. She doesn't need the validation of others to feel good about herself because she has already learned to love and accept who she is. She recognizes her strengths, her talents, and her unique qualities, and she holds on to them with pride. She is no longer reliant on the praise of others to feel valued. Instead, she finds value in herself. This self-worth becomes a source of confidence that cannot be easily shaken or diminished by external opinions. Confidence also grows from the realization that she is the creator of her own life. A woman who spends time alone understands that her destiny is in her own hands. She doesn't wait for someone else to make things happen for her. She takes the reins of her life, setting goals and taking action to achieve them. This sense of control over her own fate reinforces her confidence because she knows that she has the power to shape her future. She is no longer waiting for permission from others to pursue her dreams. She is confident in her ability to make things happen on her own terms, and this self-reliance fuels her belief in herself. When a woman spends time alone, she is also given the opportunity to reflect on past experiences and learn from them. She gains a deeper understanding of herself by evaluating her past decisions, actions, and the outcomes they produced. This reflection helps her build a more realistic sense of self-confidence, one that is grounded in her own experiences and achievements. She recognizes her growth and progress over time, and this awareness boosts her confidence. She sees that no matter what obstacles she has faced, she has always found a way to persevere. This history of overcoming challenges strengthens her belief that she is capable of handling whatever comes her way in the future. Moreover, confidence is not just about believing in one's abilities, it's about accepting one's flaws and imperfections as part of the whole. A woman who spends time alone learns that confidence is not about being perfect, but about embracing all aspects of herself, both the strengths and the weaknesses. She understands that no one is flawless, and that's what makes her human. Instead of hiding her vulnerabilities, she owns them. She is not afraid to show up in the world exactly as she is, knowing that her worth does not depend on being perfect. This acceptance of herself, flaws and all, is a powerful form of confidence because it allows her to live authentically and without shame. A confident woman is also someone who is not afraid to set boundaries. When she spends time alone, she becomes acutely aware of what she needs in order to thrive, whether that's space, time, or emotional energy, and she becomes skilled at asserting those needs. She knows that she deserves respect and that her time and energy are valuable. Her confidence enables her to say no when necessary and to prioritize her well-being without guilt. This ability to set and enforce boundaries not only protects her energy, but also reinforces her self-respect. She knows her value, and she is unwilling to allow anyone or anything to undermine that. As her confidence deepens, a woman who spends time alone becomes more courageous. She begins to take risks, pursue her goals with greater determination, and step outside of her comfort zone. This confidence pushes her to do things she might have once thought impossible because she believes in her ability to succeed. She becomes more assertive in her actions, more willing to speak her truth, and more prepared to face whatever challenges arise. The more she trusts herself, the more confidence she exudes in every aspect of her life. In the end, confidence is the key to a woman's power. A woman who has spent time alone has cultivated a level of confidence that cannot be easily shaken. It comes from within, from a deep sense of self-trust and self-worth. This confidence allows her to navigate the world on her own terms, to pursue her dreams with courage and determination, and to face life's challenges without fear. When a woman is truly confident in herself, she becomes a force to be reckoned with. This is what makes her dangerous, not because she seeks power over others, but because she has fully embraced her own power.